A house on Spruce came on the market this year asking $3,995 million. It sold for $8.2 million. I did not misspeak. That's not a typo, and it's not even the most extreme thing that has happened this year. Sales of homes above $5 million in San Francisco nearly doubled in 2026. Above $10 million, sellers went from taking 84% of their asking price to getting 102%. 26 homes that were listed under $5 million sold for more than $5 million. Get this, last year, that number was 0. This is the hottest market that I have seen in my 17 years of doing this. So here's what I cannot explain yet. If you pulled that standard marketing report right now, it'll tell you that the median price of luxury homes in San Francisco is down by 6%. But both of those things, they just cannot be true at the same time. So I'm gonna spend the first half of this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how hot the market actually is with the data. And then I'm gonna show you why that headline number actually says the opposite. I'm Ruth Krishnan with the Krishnan team, and my team and I sold more homes this year and last year than any other agent in San Francisco. And we're back here every Monday at 5 p.m. teaching you everything that you need to know to be successful in the San Francisco real estate market. Let's get started with how hot the market is. Same city, same 7 months, January through end of July, same data set. Sales of homes above $5 million, 116, up from 61 sales last year. That is nearly double. The median price per square foot is up 12.5%. The median sales price is down 6.5%. Hold on to that third one. I'm gonna come back to it. The answer is genuinely really interesting. But first, let me show you what's actually happening out there because the volume number doesn't really begin to capture it. So there are 2 luxury markets in San Francisco right now, and they are not doing the same thing. So we have the 5 to 10 million, and then we have 10 million and up. And the 5 to 10, you guys, is actually an auction. Sales went from 51 to 103, more than double. Median time on the market in 2025 was 21 days. This year is 11 days. And everything asking between $4 and $10 million, 64% of it sold over asking. Last year, that figure was 29%. That's a very, very big difference. Right now, what I'm seeing is like that range is really, really high. It used to be, and I just want to explain, when I say used to, I'm talking last year in 2025 and basically all the years before that. If we had buyers looking kind of over 5 and up, we a lot of times would tell them like, we're going to be at this for a while because, you know, buyers really could take their time. The prices were not moving that quickly. The inventory was not moving that quickly. They would really want to be sure about what they were buying and like walk through it sometimes like multiple times and, you know, think about it and go and see something else if there was more to see, right? And then kind of be like, I'm going to let that one go and maybe I'll get another one later, and then eventually fall on the one that they want. The market might have moved up a bit, but not dramatically. Now, this year, if you're shopping in that range and we're working with a lot of you, you are going to be massively out of budget if you're looking at the list price, and that's new. If you think that you're going to get something for that list price, you're going to have to lose a lot of houses probably to understand why. The second market above $10 million, here the volume barely moved. We went from 10 sales in 2025, and then this year, so far it's 13. So measuring the same time periods. But here's the thing, the behavior, even in that range, it changed completely. Last year, the typical sale in that segment closed at 84%. So a lot of times people were just like listing high and then just planning to wait. The average days on market was 47 days on market. And 8 of the 11 sales actually closed below list price at 95%. You know, so 5% under list price. So basically what you'd have is, you know, you had sales, but they would stall. In some cases, sellers would not come down, buyers would not come off. There was basically a standoff. This year, 102% of ask, 10 days, down from 47, you guys. That is fast. So only 2 out of the 15 closed below that 5%, like at 95%. That's a big difference. And this is very, very new. For the first time that I can remember, we are seeing genuine bidding wars above $10 million. That has not been a thing. 4 of the homes that were listed below 10 million and then sold above it. If you guys follow the news, I'm sure you caught this one. There was one at 2512 Union Street. It was asking $7.95 million. It sold for $15 million. That was an interesting one. I mean, I saw a house that was very, very similar to it, not very far away, and that would have put this comp closer to like maybe 11, right? And then it sold for 15. So that was a very, very big jump. But guess what? That became the new comp for the neighborhood. A lot of times it's like, oh, is that an outlier? And then you see the next sale behind it. Just follow suit. Somebody really, really wants the home and really, really jumps for it. And now they just created the whole new price for all the rest of the buyers. In 2025, that kind of spread. In 2025, 2024, 2022, I don't care what year you look at it, it's never happened. We have not historically in that luxury market been doing this underpricing strategy because there just weren't enough buyers. But that has really, really changed. So underpricing only creates competition when you have enough of a deep buyer pool to sustain an auction. At lower price points in the city, we've been doing this for years and years and years, and there's enough activity to sustain it. Above 10 million, the buyer pool historically has been so small that it would have never, ever worked. So there were 4 different sales in San Francisco this year that had those kind of like huge, like 60, 70, 40, like huge, you know, you were talking like $2, $4, $5 million differences between list and sales price at those very, very high numbers. So 2 honest caveats: above the roughly $20 million, there's still a bit more of negotiation play, but the houses are still moving really fast. And a lot of times they're moving off market. So some of those list prices are set deliberately low, which exaggerates the percentages, right? Like it depends on, did it get pushed up because somebody really wanted it and bid really high, or did the listing agent intentionally price it low? I think, to be honest, initially we had no data. Like the market was moving up in 2026 at such a fast rate. The listing agents had to rely on previous data. And then, you know, those overbids happened. And then we saw like, oh my God, the buyers are here. This pricing strategy seems to be resonating. And so now it's a question of like, is this the new strategy for San Francisco, or can we find our way out of this a little bit more and get to more accurate pricing? Of course, sellers love to sell things in 11 days on market with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 offers on it. And buyers seem to work really well. I know you guys say that you don't like it, but honestly, when things are priced more at value, the overthinking that sets in for buyers, it's really ugly, and the house just sits and buyers continue to think like, oh, I think something's wrong with that. Nobody wants it. Why do I want to buy a house that nobody wants? Like this just happens. And I've seen this play out more times than I can count. So one more detail worth flagging: every single one of the 13 sales above $10 million that were recorded in MLS, every one was a single family home. Not one condo, not one co-op, not one TIC. Last year, 2 co-ops cleared the $10 million price point. So where is the competition actually the strongest? If I made you guess which part of luxury is the hottest, you'd maybe, I don't know, probably pick the cheapest band. Well, if you did, you'd be wrong. If you didn't, you'd be right. So let's take a look. So if we break the market into bands and compare the sales price against the original asking price between the $5 and the $6.5 million price, last year was 98.3%. This year was 106. If we move over to the 6.5 to 8, we went from 98% to 115. So by far, this is the strongest segment. Then we moved from the 8 million to 10 million. You went from 97% of list price to 108, and above 10 million, this is the biggest jump, right? You went from very much like a listing high strategy to people coming in lower to a much more accurate strategy, but going much faster. If you're trying to figure out where your specific property sits in all of this, or if you're looking at a home and wondering what it's actually going to take, call me and we can go through your situation, because it is confusing out there. Like, what is the value of homes, right? And that's where you really need an agent to help you out. So I want to give you one number that requires no interpretation at all. Let's say we take every home in San Francisco listed at 5 million or more, and we ask one question. Did it actually close at 5 million, below 5 million, above it? In 2025, 6.2% of things that were listed there failed, right? 4 homes out of 65 could not hold their price. Fast forward to 2026, one out of 91 homes. Same question, same threshold, 2 years, and the failure rate dropped by more than 80%. Here's the whole year in 2 sentences. Last year, 4 listings could not hold 5 million. This year, 26 homes that were not even asking 5 million got over it. And here's the rule worth keeping. If you want to know whether or not a market is strong, don't only ask what things sold for, but ask what fraction of sellers got what they actually asked for. Now, does this mean, and I want to say this because a lot of times I do these videos and then I get these people calling me saying like, oh, basically, I've got a $5 million home and I want 10. Does this mean you can ask for any number that you want? No. And I can actually show you comps to prove even in this market, there are homes where sellers have kind of thought that and it didn't work out so well for them. So it does not mean that the market will pay anything. It does mean like maybe don't get overly greedy, but if you're thinking or thought about selling before and couldn't quite get there, then there's probably, if you have a luxury property especially, there's probably a good chance that you could. So one thing that also looks contradictory is that there, believe it or not, and I have to say, like, I was like, really? When I was looking at these numbers, could there possibly be more inventory this year? Because it does not feel like it. And if you talk to real estate agents in San Francisco, every single one of them will tell you we have more buyers than we've ever had in our entire career at one time. More homes, 10% more homes came on the market this year, and they were just gobbled up by buyers. We saw a number, and you may have seen it published out there in the news, that said that luxury prices fell by 6%. So let me show you where that number came from. So I want to talk to you about the median trap, because this is probably the single most useful thing in this video. So sit up, pay attention. The median is not a price, it's a position. Take every sale and line them up as cheapest and most expensive. The median number is whatever's sitting in the middle, right? That means that median can move for 2 completely different reasons. One, the home prices changed, which would be what some people would take out of that headline, 6% of the median price is down. Or 2, and this is new for this market, is different homes ended up on those lists. And that is a completely different situation. Obviously, the first one means that the market moved down. The other one means that the samples moved in. In San Francisco, the list has changed, and here's why. San Francisco, it doesn't build new single-family homes, right? We are a city that is 7 miles by 7 miles. It's built out. Housing stock changes very, very slowly unless it's condos. So if sales above $5 million suddenly went from 61 to 116, where did those additional 55 homes come from? No one manufactured 55 brand new luxury homes. Obviously, they were already here, but many of them were sitting below 5 million. So as a buyer, if you're looking out there and you're like, dang, this doesn't look like a $5 million house. Well, geez, last year it was 4 or it was 3.8. You're not wrong. It's just that what got on that list changed. And that matters because the lower that you go in price, the more homes that there are. So there's more homes worth 4 to 5 than 5 to 6. And more in that range than 6 to 7, right? The market thins as the price rises. So imagine that the price across the board rises, a fixed threshold like 5 million starts seeping through the thickest part of the market, and homes that used to sell for 4.5 are now trading for 5.5 or 6 million. And that is what you're seeing. The moment that they cross that 5, they're going to enter that luxury set. Now, what my prediction is that, we've been saying like our luxury home is 5 million. It honestly doesn't really feel like a luxury home anymore. I feel like a luxury home is more like 7 or 8 million in terms of how it feels when you walk in there. Now, that can vary by neighborhood. There are certainly some neighborhoods where a $5 million home does feel like a luxury home. But I would venture to guess that San Francisco, whoever is the person who decides stats, which who knows, maybe it'll be me in the future, that we decide like to move these definitions up because they should make sense with what it feels like. So let me show you this. Okay, so the $5 to $6 million band went from about a third of luxury sales to 41%. So there were 20 in 2025, and in 2026, that changed to 47. Now, those new sales enter below where the old middle used to be, and you add enough of them and something strange starts to happen. The median can fall, while the homes themselves don't get less expensive. At the same time, 26 of those homes that might previously have sold for 4.5, crossing the data set now because now they're selling for 5.5 or 6. So they enter at the bottom and they pull the middle down. The median falls even though the prices rose. If you took a look at the actual numbers, 42 homes asking between 4 and 5 million sold this year. 40% closed above 5 million. Last year, 31 homes that were listed in that range, 0 closed above 5 million. So when I first compared 25 to 26, 2025 to 2026, I thought the data showed something strange in 2026. And then I pulled a chart for 2024 and it changed what I was thinking. So for this, I'm narrowing to single family homes only because I think for most people, when they think about San Francisco luxury, that's where they're at least most of the buyers that we're working with. So 87 of the 116 sales were above 5 million this year were houses. There were 50 of these in 2024, 46 in 2025, and 87 in 2026. Now look at 2025, it went down, and then this year it doubled. You had a median price of 6.5, and then a median price of 7.5, and then a median price of 6.85. So if that's all you had, you would say the market surged and then it gave back. But then on median price per square foot, you went from 1566 to 1611. And then look at this. Holy cow, 1950. So up, plus 3%. And then plus 21%. So the median bounced around. What actually buyers paid on a price per square foot, it clearly went in one direction, and then that increase got dramatically bigger. And here's a number that changed my interpretation. Houses listed under 5 million that actually sold above it. So 2024, 5. 2025, 0. 2026, 20. So suddenly 20 is not the only unusual number, 0 is. So honestly, like every year that came before this one, it's all different. So everything that you thought you knew about luxury, just throw it down the toilet. Like it just doesn't exist. So what this means for you if you're selling a luxury property, I mean, honestly, any property, competition is working. It used to be like we had different pricing strategies, but now you can go low at any pricing strategy. I know it's driving the buyers crazy, but it's working. And that includes 10 million. The failure rate for listing to asking is 5 million. Okay, so there are several nuances where you do need to know what you're doing, and underpricing doesn't always work. So we actually have multiple properties that we're working on right now where the buyer pool is just smaller, right? So if you have something like you're on a really busy street and then you combine that with you don't have parking, or you have a luxury property that has tandem parking, all of those things are reasons to price closer to value because you're not able to count on 10 or 15 buyers showing up. You might only have a couple. And if you only have a couple, they're not going to push that price as high as you might need to see. So the nuances and the experiences really, really do matter. You cannot use a one size fits all pricing strategy. Also, when it comes to looking at prices, we do look at price per square foot a lot more than we look at median price. If you're buying, the functional entry point for a luxury house is no longer necessarily 5 million, right? I think it's 7 or 8. Of the homes that are asking 4 million, 40% of them crossed over into the above 5 million price point. Anything that's asking between $4 and $10 million needs to be evaluated as potentially competitive and moving very, very quickly. And if you're shopping specifically from 6.5 to 8 million, those homes are closing at a medium of around 115% of the original asking. When we're looking at comps, we have to look at comps. We have to look at closed properties. Like if you're looking on the market, you really, really need to understand what things are closing for, not what things are listed at. Obviously, even though we're seeing a double in luxury home sales, we don't have a double in new luxury homes. We just have luxury homes that didn't used to be luxury that are moving up. Everything is moving up and it's very, very competitive. And above 10, buyers are now competing for houses, which was not common less than a year ago. So here's three things that I would take away. This is the strongest luxury market that I've seen here in 17 years. 2, the median is a position, not a price. And when it moves, the membership of the list changes. And 3, if you thought that the luxury buying experience was one where you could really take your time, you can do whatever you want, but your competition is moving very, very quickly. So that home that you want to think on, or that home that you want to negotiate on, your competition is not thinking of it that way. They are dropping everything that they're doing. They're going to see that home and they are ready to compete to win. And if you're interested in seeing a luxury neighborhood in San Francisco, watch this neighborhood video that we did right here. If you have any questions about the market or you want to talk about buying or selling, please feel free to reach out in any of the ways below.